And that's the CBS Morning News for this Monday. Thanks for being here with us, and we hope you'll join us later for the early show. I'm Julie Chen. Have a great day.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the Internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Experience you can trust. CBS News.
College drinking. How do you protect your kids from going overboard with alcohol on campus? Also, Tom Selleck, now on Broadway, talks about his life and career. We'll follow an engaged couple through those dreaded dance lessons. And Lionel Richie belts out a favorite oldie but goodie. Come on! Wake up to what's happening this week on The Early Show with Brian Gumbel and Jane Clayson.
Emmy loves Raymond with 8 nominations, including Outstanding Comedy Series.
Mom, I know it's late, but all my bills are past due. They're ready to turn off my telephone and my electricity. The bank says they'll take my car. I can't get any more cash advances. Can't sleep.
American Credit Counselors will help you get out of debt. Work with your creditors so you'll have one lower payment and make your life less stressful. Contact us by phone or on the Internet, and our counseling is free. American Credit Counselors. We can help.
Saying goodbye to your old car can be like saying goodbye to an old friend. But the parting can become sweet sorrow if that old friend saves lives through the National Kidney Foundation's Kidney Cars program. Donate your old car and the funds will support programs that can save lives. We'll even arrange a pickup, and you might qualify for a tax deduction. Call 800-63-DONATE, the National Kidney Foundation's Kidney Cars program. It puts the good in goodbye.
After the 3 p.m. premiere of Crossing Over, meet the famed psychic John Edward today at 4.
Good morning. It's Monday, August 27th. I'm Michael Pomeroy.
And I'm Lisa Hill. It is 5 o'clock, 71 degrees outside. We'd like to welcome you to our new studio. The new home of the Information Network is at the CBS Broadcast Center right here in Manhattan.
Going to be showing it off for you all morning long. First, though, here's a look at what's happening today. There was a fire truck collided with a car in Brooklyn. 10 people were hurt. We're going to update their conditions.
There will certainly be cheers in the Bronx for the Baby Bombers. They didn't win the World Series, of course, but they certainly have won a place in our hearts.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
Live from the CBS 2 Information Center in New York, this is CBS 2 News This Morning.
Big story for you this morning, the investigation into that deadly plane crash that killed R&B singer Aaliyah. It's going to get a closer look today.
American officials are expected to arrive in the Bahamas sometime this morning. That's where the accident happened.
CBS 2 reporter Rose Walia takes a look at the crash that killed that Brooklyn-born star.
She was only 22 years old and on the brink of superstardom, but R&B singer-actress Aaliyah's life was tragically cut short Saturday evening after a Cessna plane crashed in perfect weather after taking off in the Bahamas. 6 people, including Aaliyah, were killed instantly. 3 others died of injuries later, 1 passenger from New York, another from New Jersey.
Wow. No, I'm shocked. I'm at a loss of words.
Aaliyah's fans are in disbelief after hearing the news of her sudden death. They say the young talent, who was nominated for a Grammy this year, was an inspiration for many and left her mark on the music industry.
She was a bright young star, and definitely a young star in the black community. A lot of, young girls probably looked up to her, and it's just a shame, She was a great role model.
She was born Aaliyah Houghton in 1979 right here in Brooklyn. And although the people we spoke with say they didn't know her, they are saddened by her death.
Somebody her age and so talented to die so young, and it makes you feel a little bit more, my being from Brooklyn myself.
She was so young, and she had a lot of things going for her. She just made her new video. I don't know, I feel bad.
Aaliyah went to the Bahamas to shoot a music video and was headed back to Florida when the plane went down 200 feet from the end of the runway at Marsh Harbor Airport. Police in the Bahamas believe one of the small plane's engines failed, but investigators have not released an official cause of the crash. Meanwhile, those who adored Aaliyah try to make sense of a young life lost in its prime. Rose Walia, CBS 2.
Coming up at 5:30, more about the life and times of Aaliyah, how her career took off after Star Search, and her promise as an actress. Plus, a Florida pilot says the R&B singer might be alive today if only she hadn't been in such a hurry. It's all coming up at 5:30.
traffic and weather on the 2s.
Time right now is 5:02. Let's go over to Rachel Lutzker. See how the roads are shaping up this morning. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Lisa. Things are actually traveling quite nicely so far. We do have one problem working this morning, southbound on routes 1 and 9 at Grove Street and Elizabeth. Apparently an accident investigation there, closing all northbound lanes. So do expect that this morning. Extensive rubbernecking through both directions there. So keep that in mind and stick with the New Jersey Turnpike. Out to the Turnpike we go, and out by Newark Airport, you'll notice here traffic on the very light side running quite smoothly. At this point, same thing goes as we take a look at the Verrazano Bridge. Lower level, that does remain closed for construction till 6 heading Staten Island bound, so keep that in mind. Brooklyn bound, both levels have been reopened from overnight construction, and we're also traveling nicely inbound at the Lincoln Tunnel here. Holland and George Washington Bridge also in decent shape. Alternate side in effect, and Janine Diadamo now has a check on the forecast.
Rachel, thanks, and good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Don't think the weekend weather could have been any better. It was gorgeous Saturday and gorgeous Sunday. The humidity was tolerable. The temperatures weren't too bad, but things are changing on this Monday, fitting for the beginning of the work week, right? The blues on Monday. We've got rain in the forecast, so grab the umbrella if you're just now dashing out the door. The temperature 72, and the humidity coming up, bumping all the way up to 87%. It's also going to be a breezy day. We've got gusts up to 17 miles per hour right now in Central Park, so put on a little bit of extra hairspray maybe today. It looks like it's going to stay breezy for the duration of the afternoon. Temperatures across the tri-state area on the island, 72 at Islip, 73 in Montauk. At least early on, we shouldn't have any air traffic delays due to weather. But if you have a flight late this afternoon, you're going to want to check with us because this next front, although it's not very strong, will be heading in. You can see how the rain is sort of breaking up a little bit. Showers this morning from West Virginia into New York State, upstate. Showers and thunderstorms will intensify, though, later this afternoon as we get the heating going. Highs this afternoon should make it at least to 80 degrees, if not a little bit more, around New York City, 82. But expect a chance of showers and thunderstorms by afternoon and evening, and certainly the humidity is going to be a lot higher and more noticeable than it was over the weekend. Details coming up on that 5-day forecast, Lisa. I'll have that in just a little bit.
Okay, thank you, Janine. On our West Nile watch this morning, for the second time in less than a week, New York City planned and then canceled spraying of West Central Park to fight the West Nile virus. The spraying originally was scheduled for last Thursday, but that was canceled because of all the rain we got, and then rescheduled for this morning. But without any warning, that plan was suddenly scrapped. No reason given. There's no word of rescheduling. Last year, an outdoor concert by the Philharmonic had to be postponed when the city sprayed Central Park for West Nile mosquitoes.
There were aches and pains this morning, but no serious injuries after a fire truck and car crash nearly wrecking a Brooklyn neighborhood. Fire officials say this rescue truck had its lights and sirens on as it rushed down Bushwick Avenue to a fire, and at the corner of Halsey slammed into a Mazda that witnesses say ran a red light. That crash left cars mangled in the fire truck at one neighbor's front door.
I heard a giant thunderous crash, so I ran back inside and I put the dogs in and I went up the stairs to see what happened, and all of a sudden my whole car, wall, fire truck in the yard, I didn't know what was going on.
My house shook. I live on the top floor. I was on the top floor, and my house shook. I fell, looked out the window, and there's a fire truck in my yard. I have no steps. My brand new car is smashed into the neighbor's yard.
6 firefighters taken to the hospital. 1 remains there in stable condition with a head injury. 5 other people were treated and released.
Well, after a whirlwind week that saw them win the hearts of sports fans around the country, but left them just short of their ultimate goal, the Baby Bombers are heading back home to the Bronx this morning. The Orlando Paulino All-Stars finished 3rd at the Little League World Series after a 9-1 win over the Netherlands Antilles team from Curacao in Sunday's consolation game. Danny Almonte, that pitcher, struck out 14. Carlos Garcia and Santos Sierra each hit 5th-inning home runs. Now, coming up on Wednesday, there's going to be a parade in the Bronx honoring the Baby Bombers. Starts at 3 o'clock at 165th Street and continues down the Grand Concourse to Yankee Stadium. We're going to hear from the Baby Bombers in our next half hour. Stay tuned to CBS 2 for continuing coverage of the Orlando Paulino All-Stars return trip home.
Well, down on his luck, Dad in Kentucky can pretty much now afford his own field of dreams, huh?
He is one of the 4 Powerball winners, splitting that $295 million jackpot.
This guy has some story, too. Just laid off, divorced, with a wedding coming up, plus he needs back surgery.
Perfect. We must have thought he needed his eyes examined, too, though, when he saw those 6 numbers. Yep. Michelle Kimbler has his story.
20 numbers, and there is my ticket.
He feels like $1 million.
I'm going to get $74,750,000.
That's crazy.
Hello. Say it as fast.
David Edwards is one of 4 winners who matched all 6 numbers in Saturday night's near-record Powerball jackpot.
I looked at the numbers, and I had the Powerball, and I had 2 other numbers. Well, I thought I'd won $20.
But when he glanced again,
I jumped out of the car and started praising God. Thank you, Lord, that I won this money.
David's been playing Powerball religiously for some time, but this time?
I feel like the luckiest man in this country today.
Turns out 7 really is a lucky number. Just like you or I, David walked into this convenience store, laid down $7.
Now, I bought 5 tickets and picked the numbers, and then I bought 2 tickets, quick pick.
And walked out, not knowing he was going to be a millionaire. His fiance didn't even want him to gamble this game.
He's always the one, always plays the lottery. I'm like, oh, don't waste your money.
But $7 was a small price to pay this time.
One of the things I really would like to do in the future is travel.
And it's earned them both tickets to toy with what was once fantasy.
That was Michelle Kimbler reporting. She says Edwards is now tooling around in a Mercedes convertible, a loaner until he can afford his own. Well, as you know, nobody around here won the Powerball, but Connecticut did come up a big winner. Sure, everybody in Greenwich grumbled about the long lines of New Yorkers and Garden Staters flooding their borders, but Connecticut raked in $10 million in proceeds from all the tickets sold. For each $1 ticket, 10 cents goes to the state, a nickel to the ticket agent.
Time right now is 5:09. Police brutality victim Abner Louima leaving New York. We're going to tell you where he's moving.
Plus, a teenager on Long Island is the victim of a mysterious drive-by shooting.
And a water main break in Midtown could spell some trouble for your morning commute.
Call it a long night for the Yankees. Details are coming up in sports.
This is a challenge. Try finding this bedroom set anywhere else for only $11.94. You can't. Just look at this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Talk about storage, even this. Now let's raise the bar. Not only the bed wall for $11.94, but also the dresser and mirror. All fronts fashioned from solid oak. Here's the kicker. 9.99% financing.
You've seen Metropolitan Lumber and Hardware trucks everywhere. The reason is because of great deals like this one. Cut at least 50% off factory service tools with new tool warranties, like the Bosch heavy-duty rotary hammer. Originally $549, only $269, only at the Met. Let us deliver quality products at low prices and expert service to you as well. With 5 locations serving the tri-state area, drop by any Metropolitan Lumber and Hardware and find out why you see our trucks everywhere.
New York's biggest secret isn't a club, but you can bring yours if you like. The Randall's Island Golf Center, a hideaway just minutes from Manhattan. The Randall's Island Golf Center, 80 driving range stations, plus a fully equipped pro shop with 4 PGA pros on site. Little time with the family, 2 beautiful miniature golf courses and batting cages, and fully catered corporate events for $50 to $500. The Randall's Island Golf Center, your New York golf hideaway, 212-427-5689.
Tired of spending nights alone? Are friends fixing you up on dead-end dates? Are the cards of love stacked against you? Then pick up the phone and call the MatchLink Singles Network. It's safe, confidential, free to enroll, and you don't have to browse through hundreds of ads to be matched with someone you're compatible with. We've all had our fair share of jokers in the game of love, but with the MatchLink Singles Network, anyone can bring home a winner.
From the CBS 2 Information Network, this morning's headlines straight from the Daily News.
Here's what's in the paper today. Abner Louima moving to Florida. That Haitian immigrant who was tortured by police in a Brooklyn station house recently settled a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Louima's friends say that he's concerned about the safety of his family. And former Teamsters president Ron Carey is going to try to salvage his reputation at his perjury trial later today. The one-time UPS driver from Queens is accused of lying to investigators looking into a fundraising scandal that led to his removal from that labor union. And Reverend Al Sharpton renewed his wedding vows over the weekend. The event took place at a Harlem church packed with about 1,000 people. The ceremony was delayed by Sharpton's recent stay in jail, as you know, for protesting the bombing on the Puerto Rican island of Vieques. You can read all about it in this morning's Daily News.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
It is 5:12 on this Monday morning. Another look at your morning commute now. We're going to say good morning again to Rachel Lusker. Traffic. Hey, Rachel.
Good morning, Lisa. Thank you very much. Still actually a pretty decent ride. We still have one problem, though, through Elizabeth, New Jersey right now. Northbound routes 1 and 9 closed due to an accident investigation from an earlier problem there. Now, all northbound lanes shut down. Watch for a very heavy ride getting by this through both directions and stick with the New Jersey Turnpike. Out by Newark Airport, though, things on the Turnpike running quite smoothly. Not too much to report here. Same thing goes out by the Verrazano Bridge, lower level Staten Island bound. That does remain closed for construction until 6 o'clock, but Brooklyn bound both levels, those have been reopened from the overnight construction. We'll check things out along the Grand Central Parkway out by Jewel Avenue. Things here, again, running quite smoothly with no delays or problems. And then on the BQE, you'll notice a line of traffic beginning to build into the Brooklyn Bridge, but still running quite smoothly so far. East River crossings and Hudson River crossings all moving nicely, and alternate side is in effect today. Janine Diadamo now has a check on the forecast.
Rachel, thanks. Good morning. You know, we've got a kind of a parade of fronts going on right now, kind of typical as we head almost into the fall season. We're getting there. One front should be arriving later today. The second one's way back here. That comes in tomorrow. So the next 2 days, keep your umbrellas with you. This front will move eastward with time, and showers and storms are still to our west for the morning commute. But by afternoon and evening, they could be pretty intense in some areas, but the rain chance about 40%. Doesn't mean it's going to be a washout today, but it's going to be a lot cloudier and more humid than it was over the weekend. Taking a look at the forecast for today, we've got lots of sunshine, at least early on, increasing clouds. 82 degrees in New York City will be about the average high for this time of the year. Temperatures a little bit lower on the Jersey Shore and into Long Island. Stanford, 79. Here is the 5-day forecast. So today and tomorrow, like I said, not washouts, but you're going to want to grab the umbrellas for your work days through Tuesday. By Wednesday, everything should be actually pretty nice. 85 degrees on Wednesday, more sunshine Thursday, and late Friday, some rain coming in. Well, you know what? We're starting a new segment here on CBS 2 News this morning. It's called Pet Pics. We'll take pictures of your pet and put them on the air. So Bowser can be famous. To kick off our segment, we have pictures of some of our pets, beginning with Uta. Is a German Shepherd who belongs to one of our producers, Johanna, and she lives in Manhattan. Now, Johanna, I'm going to have to ask you after the show where Uta came from. UTA. Now, here's Oscar and his sister Maya. They're wiener dogs.
Yes, they are.
Get it? Oscar, Maya. That's great. And they're Doppelwiener dogs. I know that breed. They're so cute. Now, they're owned by producer Don Ennis of Cortland Manor. And if you have a perfect pet, you'd like to share your pictures with everybody in the tri-state area, all you have to do is email them to our website. Log on to cbsnewyork.com. It's pretty easy. There's a little marquee that you click on, a little icon, and you can email. You have to be kind of email savvy to do this.
Sure. Took you a little bit to do it, right?
Yeah, actually, I put mine on disc, and somebody else is going to show my dogs later this week.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you. Even the most posh addresses in Manhattan are not immune to everyday disasters, like a big water main break. Well, the basements of the Essex House and the New York Athletic Club were both flooded. This is on 58th Street between 5th and 6th Avenues. Crews repaired the broken main overnight, pumped out the basements. We're told all is back to normal at this hour.
Well, this morning on Long Island, a search for the killers of a teenage girl. Nassau County Police looking for 3 men who they say are responsible for what's being called a random act of violence. Their victim, Jennifer Grimes of Newcastle. She was a 14-year-old who loved to play the violin, wanted to be a nurse one day. Early yesterday, Grimes, another girl, and a male friend were sitting on a corner across from Martin Reed Park when police say 3 men in a dark car drove by and opened fire. So far, police have no motive. Nassau County Police asking anybody with any information at all to contact Crime Stoppers at the number you see here at the bottom of your screen. It's 1-800-244-TIPS. Again, that number 1-800-244-TIPS. All calls remain anonymous.
We are expecting some new developments today in the case of Waterbury Mayor Philip Giordano. He is facing child sex abuse charges. Today is the day a Connecticut grand jury is expected to either indict him or dismiss the charges against him. And tonight, the Waterbury Board of Aldermen is expected to talk about whether to remove the mayor from office or not. Giordano is being held in jail without bond. He's accused of conspiracy and soliciting sex from a minor. The charges involve 2 girls ages 9 and 10.
Actress Tara Reid, expected to be in the spotlight on Long Island this week as a grand jury investigates the Lizzie Grubman case. That actress, who has a role in the movie American Pie 2, was with Grubman just hours before that alleged hit and run. Reid's lawyer tells reporters that she'll testify that she didn't see Grubman take drugs or alcohol, but the actress was not with Grubman at the nightclub where the accident happened. Grubman is accused of backing her SUV into 16 people. The grand jury is considering criminal charges.
It is 5:17, time for sports. Yankees lost in Anaheim last night in extra innings. Mariano Rivera blew the save in the 9th.
Yeah, then Mike Stanton came in to pitch, and the Angels, Garrett Anderson.
Line down the right
It's not good. That's the game winner right down the right field line. It scores Darren Erstad. Angels win 7-6. For the rest of sports, here's Gary Apple.
Well, it's been a very rough season for the Mets, but it was a very productive weekend. The Mets made it 3 straight over San Francisco, beating the Giants at Shea last night in the third. The Fonz going deep right here. It barely stays fair. Hits the pole, as a matter of fact. A 3-run shot. It was 3-1 Mets. Then tied it 3-6. The Mets had the bases loaded, 1 out. Piazza on third, trying to score the go-ahead on a sac fly, and he is out at home. Great job by Santiago blocking the plate. But the Mets won it with 3 in the 7th. Matt Lawton breaks the tie, doubles into right. Ordonez waltzes in. The Mets beat the Giants 6-5. Barry Bonds once again goes homerless. He is stuck on 55. What a win for Tiger at the NEC Invitational as Woods and Jim Furyk staged a sudden death playoff for the ages. Furyk appeared to be out of it quickly, left his third shot in the bunker on the first extra hole. But then Furyk, with a flair for the dramatic, he does the improbable. His second bunker shot quite a bit better than his first. And so the playoff continued. He was fired up. In fact, it went 7 holes before Tiger said, you know, enough is enough. Tiger with his shot to the green here on 18, sealing it, a pitching wedge to about 2 feet, and say goodnight. Tiger Woods wins the NEC Invitational for the 3rd consecutive year. He also wins $1 million. WNBA, the Liberty couldn't get it done at the Garden last night, and so the Eastern Conference Finals comes down to 1 game tonight. Charlotte, even the best of 3 series behind Andrea Stinson. She scored 16 of her 18 in the second half. She also had 8 assists. Stinson drawing the defense right here and then dishing to Tammy Sutton-Brown. The Sting beat the Liberty 62-53. And finally, Pete Sampras knocked off in the finals of the Hamlet Cup. Sampras going down to Tommy Haas in 3 sets. And so Pete has gone 16 tournaments without a title, something I am sure he would like to rectify, and he gets the chance beginning today as the U.S. Open gets underway at Flushing Meadows, of course, for the next 2 weeks, and you can see it all right here on CBS. That's it. I'm Gary Apple. That's Big Apple Sports on this Monday morning.
Time right now is 5:19. Well, we just told you about one of the actors from American Pie 2. That sequel grabbed the biggest slice of the box office again. We're going to check out the other winners this weekend.
Plus, we'll get the latest on traffic and weather together on the Tubes.
Just trying to help you. Some people are... What you doing?
Just paying some bills on Fleet Home Link.
How do you do that again?
You just click and pay.
What you doing now?
I'm transferring some funds.
Yeah, I got some funds to transfer too. Oh, sorry. Mr. Big Time Shortstop. A little too cool to pay, hanging around. Hey.
Hey.
Paying some bills?
Actually, I'm researching a bond fund.
Oh, yeah, bond funds. Gotta diversify. Yeah, and on Fleet Home Link?
Fleet Home Link with Quick and Riley.
You know, you can invest with Fleet Home Link through Quick and
Riley? You don't say.
Sign up for HomeLink today. You'll get 3 months of online bill payment free. Just log on now at fleet.com/free.
As you all can see, we're in a brand new studio, and something else new here on CBS 2 News this morning, the Info Bar.
Yeah, take a look here at the bottom left of your television screen.
Okay.
Your bottom. All right, it's coming. We're working on it. You're going to find the latest news headlines. They're going to be updated for you constantly.
And then from the middle to the right, you'll find the temperature right now, what it'll be at noon, and Janine's forecast for tonight, plus her look ahead to the next 3 days.
Hard to do this, kind of pointing things.
Kind of backwards. Plus, we'll have local sports scores.
All this is going to, of course, improve upon the original CBS 2 Information Network info box, which you'll recall was that little box in the corner there.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, it made its debut in April of last year, and as you can see, we're gonna rent this space out now. So if you have any advertising, we'd like to. Just kidding.
Just kidding. It is 5:22 right now. Let's go ahead and find out about traffic and weather. We're going to start with Rachel Lefker, as we always do. Good morning, Rach.
Hey, Rach.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Michael. Well, you do have a little bit of a problem this morning due to construction. The Brooklyn Battery Tunnel outbound closed for construction till 6, so keep that in mind. Now, the inbound tube is taking a 2-lane traffic, so that's going to be a bit of an inconvenience for you this morning. Otherwise, traffic on the BQE into the Brooklyn Bridge, not too much of a trouble so far. Traffic is starting to pick up, but still remaining quite light so far. Same thing goes as we head over to the Verrazano Bridge. Not too much of a problem. Brooklyn bound, both levels have been reopened from construction, but lower level Staten Island bound, that remains closed for construction till 6, so just a little bit longer on that with us. As we head over to the New Jersey Turnpike, you'll notice a nice ride here out by Newark Airport. Not too much of a problem here. Northbound Routes 1 and 9, though, at Grove Street through Elizabeth. An accident investigation there. Watch for heavy delays through both areas as the northbound lanes are shut down. Turnpike, the way to go there. Alternate side in effect today, and Janine Diadamo now has a check on today's forecast.
Rachel, thanks. It's 5:23. The temperature now in New York City is 72 degrees. On the island, 72 Islip, 73 Montauk, 69 degrees in Congress. No real bad issues this morning with fog, but I can tell you it's very breezy. Nothing that's really going to affect your commute to work today, but it's breezy because a cold front is coming in, and on the satellite radar you can see it lined up all the way from Maine, backing down into Tennessee and Kentucky. And these showers and storms actually, as we've been watching in the last couple hours, have been kind of falling apart. So don't expect much rain, if any, for the morning commute. But later today, as this front gets a little bit closer and all this moisture comes in with southwest winds, we are going to notice that rain chance increasing again and some thunderstorms developing. I'll have more details on that, plus the 5-day forecast coming up. Michael, Lisa.
Okay, thank you, Janine. 5:23 home, and now 5:24. American Pie. That movie takes the biggest bite of the box office.
All right, we're done with the pie puns. We're back in a moment.
Make a wish, Ma.
Oh, let me get the plates, Mom. With which arm? I don't mind, honey.
Mom, while you're up.
Now you, I mind. All grown up and they still depend on me. I wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I wish for out there? That I'll always be as independent as I am today, and that I never leave a burden to those kids. I know what funerals cost. That's why I got life insurance from the Colonial Penn Insurance Program. It's easy, affordable, and you can't be turned down, even at my age. I wouldn't trust any other program to help with one of my greatest wishes.
If the last thing you want to do is leave a burden to your loved ones, then the first thing you should do is call this toll-free number. Funeral and burial costs are at an all-time high, but so's the amount of coverage you can get with the Colonial Penn Insurance Program. Since coverage amounts are based on age, your available benefit will never be higher. Plus, the amount of coverage you choose will never decrease. And here are more smart reasons to call. Your acceptance is guaranteed. If you're age 50 or older, you cannot be turned down regardless of your health. It's affordable. Your coverage costs just $6.95 a month per unit. That rate will never increase for any reason. It's easy. There's no medical exam, no health questions. It's permanent. As long as you pay your premiums, your coverage cannot be canceled. It's smart. Your coverage builds cash value you can borrow against. Remember, the amount of coverage you can get will never be higher. The time to call is now.
Call 1-800-372-8686 to receive your free information in the mail. You'll get this handy guide to Social Security absolutely free. That number again is 1-800-372-8686. Or visit our website at colonialpenn.com.
Hey, Mom, let me give you a hand.
Well, this is a first. Call the Colonial Penn Insurance Program for them.
You got the look, I want to know better. You got the look that's all together. Working, playing, day or night. Jordache has a fit that's right. The Jordache look. And you know you got the Jordache look.
Well, it appears that moviegoers still have a huge appetite for American Pie 2.
The teen comedy continues to gobble up sales at the box office. I think we're out of pie puns by now.
Goodness, we can only hope. It's the #1 spot for the third straight weekend now. Movie fans forked over more than $12 million to keep it there. Coming in second, another sequel, Rush Hour 2, bringing in more than $11 million. And the new release, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, debuted in 3rd place.
Nicole Kidman's Thriller, The Others, came in 4th, and Rat Race rounded out the top 5.
Time right now is 5:27. Much more for you this morning, including a look back at the life and times of Aaliyah, the singer who died tragically over the weekend.
Plus, a consumer alert for you. A plan to fix problems at their nation's airports is not exactly taking off with passengers. We'll tell you why.
And then coming up at our 6 o'clock hour, officials in South Florida deciding whether to reopen a stretch of beach where sharks have been feeding on humans.
And we're going to meet an unemployed man whose luck seems to have changed for the better. He says he is one of the 4 people who won that big Powerball jackpot.
American workers have served their country well. They've built our cities, ships, power plants. Now many are discovering that they gave their lives. If you or a loved one suffers with mesothelioma, lung cancer, or asbestosis, you can fight back. Levy Phillips in Konigsberg is a pioneer in asbestos litigation, winning some of the largest verdicts in the country. Call toll-free 1-800-MESO-LAW. Levy Phillips in Konigsberg. Fight back. Win.
I don't know about you, but I often stop and wonder, what if? Like, what if I didn't make it to the World Championship in 1983? Or what if I didn't break my leg in front of millions of fans a few years later? My thoughts used to center on my game.
Then, like you, I had a family and discovered what worrying was really about. What if something happened to you? How would your family get by? Could they pay the mortgage and your other bills? Would the kids' education suffer? Many folks don't have enough life insurance, and if you're counting on what you have at work, consider this. Half of all workers lose their coverage when they retire. And the older you are when you try to replace it, the more difficult and expensive it can be, even if you're in the best of health.
Fortunately, there's Life Choice, an affordable offer from the Colonial Penn Insurance Program for folks aged 45 to 75. It provides up to $25,000 in affordable whole life insurance protection.
At some of the most reasonable rates you'll find anywhere. You'd think it would be tough to get protection like this, but it's easy. All you do is answer 3 simple health questions. No medical exam is required, and once accepted, your coverage cannot be canceled. This is not a term life insurance plan that offers you coverage for a set number of years and then stops. This is permanent whole life insurance. It fully protects from day one. There's no waiting period. And your benefit amount, as much as $25,000, is guaranteed not to decrease, ever.
What's more, your premium is guaranteed never to increase. Plus, the plan builds cash value you can borrow against for any reason. If you're between 45 and 75, you can take advantage of this affordable offer from the Colonial Penn Insurance Program.
Start by picking up the phone to ask for more information. No agent will come to your door, and your free information will be sent to you by mail without obligation. So call now.
Call 1-800-292-5478 to receive free information in the mail. The call is free, and so is this handy insurance guide. Call 1-800-292-5478. There's no risk or obligation. That's 1-800-292-5478. Or visit our website at colonialpenn.com.
Good morning on this Monday, August 27th. I'm Michael Pomeranz.
And I'm Lisa Hill. It is 5:30, 71 degrees outside. You might have noticed our new surroundings. We've actually moved the information network to the CBS Broadcast Center in Manhattan.
Take you behind the scenes at our new studio throughout the morning. But first, here's what's happening today. American investigators are going to arrive in the Bahamas today to try to find out just what caused the plane carrying R&B singer Aaliyah to crash.
And the baby bomber is going to come back to her hero's welcome in the Bronx later today. We'll tell you about the big celebrations planned for the Little Leaguers.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
Live from the CBS 2 Information Center in New York, this is CBS 2 News This Morning.
Well, even though they fell short of their ultimate goal, the Rolando Paulino All-Stars come home today from a summer vacation that they will never forget.
That's for sure. That's for sure. While they may not have captured that Little League World Championship trophy, the baby Bronx Bombers return as champions in the hearts and minds of everybody in the 5 boroughs.
Yeah, capping a whirlwind weekend, those All-Stars took 3rd place at the Little League World Series with a 9-1 win over Curacao in the consolation game.
Danny Almonte, that pitcher, struck out 14 batters, and the All-Stars broke the game open in the 5th inning with home runs off the bats of Carlos Garcia and Santos Sierra.
It wasn't exactly the World Series finale they wanted, but the baby Bombers were still happy and proud to have represented their country.
A lot of people dream and wish they could come here, and they didn't, and I came, so now I feel proud of myself.
Okay, llegamos aquí. He said he feels great. This is the first time representing the United States, and he feels great.
No, they had a lot of fun. They came here and they enjoyed themselves, and this is something that we'll never forget.
Also yesterday, Japan took home the Little League World Championship for the 5th time with a 2-1 win over Apopka, Florida.
On Wednesday, there's going to be a parade in the Bronx honoring those baby bombers. It begins at 3 in the afternoon at 165th Street and continues down the Grand Concourse to Yankee Stadium.
Stay tuned to CBS 2 for continuing coverage of the Rolando Paulina All-Stars return trip home.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
All right, 5:32 right now. Let's go back over to Rachel Lutzker, see how those roads are shaping up. Rachel, good morning again.
Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Lisa. Things actually are still running quite smoothly this morning. We'll take you out and show you the BQE heading into the Brooklyn Bridge here. You'll notice a line of traffic moving towards us, just starting to pick up at this early hour. Things not doing too terrible at this point. We'll head over to the Lincoln Tunnel, where also we're looking at a nice ride here. Holland and George Washington Bridge also just looking at a nice ride as overnight construction there has been picked up. Over to the Verrazano Bridge, lower level Staten Island bound, closed till 6 for construction. Typical overnight maintenance there, but we will find that the Brooklyn bound both levels have been reopened at this point. Overnight construction there cleared away. Brooklyn Battery Tunnel outbound lanes closed for road construction. The inbound tube is taking two-way traffic there, so do expect that this morning. Alternate side in effect today, and a problem working out in New Jersey above routes 1 and 9 is where we'll find Jim Smith.
And Rachel, we have some good news for you, at least a little bit of good news on routes 1 and 9 in Elizabeth. Let's go outside and take a look. This is the northbound side by Grove Street. This is just north of the Bayway Circle. An accident from the overnight hours, now an investigation, and some utility work as well. There's some repair being done to a utility pole at this location. Now, the northbound side was completely shut down for some time over the overnight. Now we have the left lane open, and it does appear we may have one or possibly even 2 more lanes reopened in the near future. Let's go over to Janine Diodamo now to get a check on the weather. Good morning, Janine.
Good morning to you, Jim. It's 72 degrees right now in New York City. We've got partly cloudy skies in and around Central Park, but the skies are going to get cloudier through the day as the humidity comes up, the winds are going to be breezy, and there's a cold front on the way. Pretty typical this time of the year. Those fronts come in, and actually there's a couple of them to show you right now. Temperatures still holding near average, mostly in the low 70s, and with some of that cloud cover and higher humidity, we're not going to see these temperatures budge too much over the next couple of hours. In the Park, 72, Madison 67, and it's 73 this morning in and around Fairfield County and around Bridgeport, 73 right now. So Connecticut weather is gorgeous so far this morning. It was good weather across the tri-state area over the weekend. You could see mainly clear from Rhode Island back towards D.C., but then we have a cold front coming. The showers and storms have been breaking up a little bit, and we've been watching carefully as this front is kind of weakening as it moves eastward. That doesn't mean we're still not going to see cloud cover and a good chance of rain this afternoon, but at least for the early morning hours, not too much in the way of moisture rainfall coming in. So it looks like your early part of the day will be dry, but the later part of the day, a little bit of a soaker for some of you. So grab the umbrellas, not just for sun protection today, but for rain protection. 82 will be the high temperature this afternoon. 79 in Seaford, Long Island, Hampton Bays. About 78, and again, a little bit below 82 along the Jersey Shore from Sandy Hook down towards Atlantic City. 82 Flemington with cloud cover. And Michael, remember, rain chance today and also tomorrow.
All right, Janine, thank you. 5:35 right now, and a Florida pilot says that R&B singer Aaliyah might be alive today if she had stayed with her original travel plans. That pilot returned from the Bahamas to Miami yesterday, carrying much of the singer's equipment. He says that Aaliyah was also supposed to be aboard that flight, but she wanted to get home earlier, so she hired a plane from another company. That's the one that went down just after takeoff on Saturday. U.S. investigators will arrive in the Bahamas today to help look for answers to that crash.
Well, Aaliyah died doing what she said she was born to do, be an entertainer. With a new record in release and several movie projects in the works, Aaliyah was a young star well on her way to superstardom when her life was tragically cut short. Just barely out of her teen years, the R&B ingenue already had a Grammy nomination and a platinum album. Aaliyah was born in Brooklyn. She grew up in Detroit. Last year, the 22-year-old made her acting debut in the film Romeo Must Die, and she signed on to star in 2 sequels to The Matrix.
On our West Nile Watch this morning, spraying of Central Park to fight the virus was apparently canceled for the 2nd time in less than a week. The spraying originally was scheduled for last Thursday. That was canceled, though, because of the rain and rescheduled for this morning. But without any warning, that plan apparently been scrapped. No reason's been given, no word of rescheduling. Though we have put in a call to the Department of Health. We'll bring you some more information when we get it.
A guy who felt like his luck had run out has had a big change in his life, that's for sure. He's one of the winners from Saturday's $295 million Powerball jackpot. He's divorced, but he was planning on getting married again. David Edwards of Ashland, Kentucky, is who we're talking about, a man who just found out he was being laid off. He got some much better news when he went against his fiance's advice and played the Powerball. His randomly picked numbers had the right combo.
I'm going to
gets $74,750,000.
That's crazy.
Hello? Say that fast.
That's right. Say that fast is right. There were 3 other winning tickets. One was sold at the Cumberland Farms convenience store in Rollinsford, New Hampshire. The other 2 were sold in Minnesota and in Delaware. Now, if you still have visions of lottery millions, you can try your luck again in another multi-state lottery. The big game jackpot for tomorrow night's drawing is expected to be $90 million. Not bad. New Jersey is the only state in our area where you can buy tickets to that game.
5:37 right now. When we come back, some help for you road warriors heading out the door. Going to check traffic with Rachel Lutzker and weather with Janine Vietnam on the tubes.
And air traffic is a big problem at airports everywhere, but a plan to fix backups on the runways is not a runaway success.
Plus, a bit of a turnaround at the price at the pump. You're going to find out about the rising cost of gas from our information network partner, CBSMarketWatch.com. We're back at home.
This fall, 11 teams of 2 race once around the planet. Their mothers and daughters.
And there's going to be times when we're going to butt heads.
Grandparents.
I told her she's going to have to milk a yak.
Fraternity brothers.
Oh, we are the ugly Americans.
Ordinary people in the most extraordinary event of their lives.
There's definitely a potential for an international incident.
From the network that brought you Survivor.
There's going to be a big tree. Those are the directions you got, under the big tree.
The Amazing Race premieres CBS Wednesday, September 5th.
Spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
All around the world, Siemens provides hospitals and doctors with the tools they need to make the right decisions right away. From diagnostics to patient information to care management, we're doing our part to help people everywhere feel better.
Spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
Hey, partner, come to where the fun is. The Land of Make-Believe is inviting you for a day of outrageous family fun. From our fabulous new frog hopper to our beautiful grand carousel. The fun is just beginning for you and your family. Acres of neat things to do all day. Come on, partner. Stomp your feet and clap your hands all the way to the Land of Make-Believe. Just minutes away in Hope, New Jersey, Route 80, Exit 12.
This place is cool!
Is there a better way to experience intimate cleansing? Now there is. Introducing Vagisil Cleansing Foam. It's unlike any douche, towelette, wash, or soap. Vagisil Cleansing Foam is the first intimate cleansing foam. It gently cleans away wetness, even odor, without rinsing. After all, a woman can never feel too clean and fresh. New Vagisil Cleansing Foam. From Vagisil, a better understanding of better intimate care.
One of the biggest complaints about flying is overcrowding and delays. Well, now the Transportation Department has come up with a plan to try to fix things, but you probably won't like it. CBS 2 reporter Jim Walker has the story from Dallas-Fort Worth Airport.
1 in 5 flights nationwide is at least 15 minutes late. At DFW, that means planes lined up, passengers getting angry, and the government under pressure to do something about it.
There's just too many airplanes trying to take off and land at the same time, and it's causing delays and it's causing complaints, so they're trying to do something about it.
One solution proposed by the Department of Transportation is to charge airlines more to land at peak times at the busiest airports.
While the airlines have never used congestion prices, other industries have. In some cities, rail customers are charged an extra fee for commuting during peak hours. And some states are also considering charging drivers for driving in the HOV lane solo during peak hours. The goal is to encourage airlines to fly to alternate airports at off-peak times.
From a consumer standpoint, the argument is, are you more willing to accept having lesser flights into the designation you want because they're simply restricted, or would you rather pay more and still get the flights that you want?
Some are betting consumers will end up paying more, like it or not. Tom Parsons of BestFares.com believes instead of reducing congestion, business travelers will have to cover the difference, and low-cost carriers will struggle.
Now, if they had to pay a premium to fly in during those peak times, then that would also affect airfares almost immediately, because, again, they would have to pass that along. We should be out there supporting these low-cost airlines instead of driving them away with fees.
Airlines say they're already doing their part to reduce overcrowding by scheduling fewer flights at peak times. Jim Walker for CBS News.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
5:42. Back over to Rachel Lutzker, who is keeping an eye, as she always does, on those roads. Rachel?
Good morning, Michael. Looks like we still have some road construction troubles this morning. The Brooklyn Battery Tunnel outbound closed for construction. Should be cleared away by 6 this morning. Now the inbound tube is taking the two-way traffic there. And also northbound West Street, just after the tunnel, looks like road construction takes out the right lane from us there. Do stick with the east side if you're heading that way. Now, as we check things out along the BQE into the Brooklyn Bridge, still not too much of a trouble here. You'll notice the traffic again is starting to pick up, but still no organized delay or problem. And heading over now to the New Jersey Turnpike, also a pretty smooth ride out by Newark Airport. Keep in mind routes 1 and 9 at Grove Street through Elizabeth. The northbound side now has the left lane open. This due to an ongoing accident investigation there from an overnight problem. Stick with the New Jersey Turnpike if that's the way you need to go. Heading over to Jim Smith now. We'll check things out about the Holland Tunnel.
And Rachel, not a bad ride this morning. Traffic looking very good getting into the Holland Tunnel. We have no problems along the Pulaski Skyway, routes 1 and 9, at least once you get past that Elizabeth trouble. And the Newark Bay extension of the New Jersey Turnpike also treating you well getting into the Holland Tunnel. You can see very little traffic coming down the approach this morning. Obviously a good time to get into the Holland Tunnel. Let's go over to Janine Diadamo now to check on the forecast. Good morning, Janine.
Good morning to you, Jim. Thanks so much. Right now, we're looking at temperatures just near 70, slightly above, slightly below, right in that neighborhood. The humidity a little bit high, though. New York City, humidity over 85% right now. And the winds are gusty anywhere from Belmar towards Trenton and Madison. The whole area is seeing a southwest wind with gusts up to 20 miles per hour, so a little bit breezy. Speaking of winds, I got something to show you. You remember Tropical Storm Dean? It was over Puerto Rico late last week. Remember, it became a tropical storm, brought heavy rain to San Juan, and then it just washed out. It started to make a north hook turn towards Bermuda, and now it is back up to tropical storm strength. The good news is it's on a northeast clip at about 18 to 20 miles per hour, so it's quickly moving out into very cold waters. It's not going to affect anybody on land, and it's going to just kind of head out to sea. So that's Tropical Storm Dean regenerating and moving out. Today for us, we've got some rain moving in. It's out to our west now, but by afternoon, look for a chance of rain. 82 degrees, so we'll about do it for the high temperature in the 5-day forecast. Take a look at this. We've got a chance of rain today and tomorrow. 2 different fronts. 82 today, 84 tomorrow, followed by drier weather Wednesday and Thursday, and late Friday, another chance of rain. Back now to the news desk for more.
Janine, thank you. It's 5:45 right now. It's time for the latest business news.
And Susan McGinnis of CBSMarketWatch.com is here. What do you think of the new
Good morning. Happy Monday. I love the new home. It's beautiful. You guys look great up here.
Thanks, Susan. How's the news?
It's looking pretty good today. We had an incredible Friday. The big question now is, will the rally continue? It was tech stock fever on Friday, the biggest rally in about 6 weeks. All it took were some comments from Cisco Systems that its business is seeming to stabilize. The Dow closed up 194 points, and it was up 182 for all of last week. The NASDAQ shot up 74 points on Friday, also ended up for the week at 49 points. Meanwhile, though, more evidence this economic downturn is global. Reports say that Japanese tech giants Hitachi and Toshiba will cut 20,000 jobs each because of falling prices and the high-tech slump. Fujitsu, remember, said earlier this month it would cut more than 16,000 jobs. As for this week, some big economic indicators to look forward to. Among the highlights, tomorrow's consumer confidence reading. Then on Wednesday, we get second quarter GDP. Well, if you haven't noticed, gas prices have shifted into reverse. Prices are up more than 6 cents a gallon over just the past 2 weeks. This is the first rise in about 3 months. The average price is now just about $1.50. And if you're looking for a job right now, it may get tougher to find one from here on in. A new survey of employers finds that fewer than a quarter of them plan to add workers through the end of the year. This time last year, about a third plan to do some hiring. Most expect no change, and 11% plan to cut workforces. The weakest sector is manufacturing, where hiring plans are at levels not seen since the recessions of 1981 and 1991. See how today is shaping up on our website. We're at cbs.marketwatch.com. But what a great rally on Friday. We do expect the momentum to continue this morning.
Excellent. We have a full restaurant in the back, by the way.
All right. I'm at it.
Thanks. 5:46 right now. Hey, before you head out the door, don't miss traffic and weather on the 2s. That's coming up next.
Also ahead, your wake-up sports. Can the Mets keep Barry Bonds from hitting another homer yet again? We'll have the story from Shay.
Plus, the duck races. We have the video to prove it. We're back in a moment.
see Metropolitan Lumber and Hardware trucks everywhere. The reason is because of great deals like this one. Cut at least 50% off factory service tools with new tool warranties, like the DeWalt Pro Jigsaw, originally $280, only $125, only at the Met. Let us deliver quality products at low prices and expert service to you as well. With 5 locations serving the tri-state area, drop by any Metropolitan Lumber and Hardware and find out why you see our trucks everywhere.
If you've been injured in any accident, dial 1-800-LAW-3333. You need a law firm that won't back down and will fight hard for every dollar you deserve.
Call the Yankowitz Law Firm at 1-800-LAW-3333.
I give out more of these than my autograph. I say, take your car to Maaco. When you check out our great prices, you'll wonder how we do it. Our economical ambassador paint service is only $189. Maaco is good, fast, and a great value. It's Maaco for makeovers. Job well done by the #1 player in auto painting and body work. Call 1-888-MAACO-USA.
I'm Neil Padgett with savings on beautiful home aquariums from Tetra.
Welcome to Tetra's Second Nature Wonderful World of Tropical Fish, featuring quality aquarium products like Whisper Power Filters and Tetramin Fish Food, the leading products that you and your fish can trust.
Come to Petland Discounts for Tetra's wonderful world of tropical fish.
If you've been injured in any accident, dial 1-800-LAW-3333. You need a law firm that won't back down and will fight hard for every dollar you deserve.
Call the Yankowitz Law Firm at 1-800-LAW-3333.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
5:49 is the time right now, and it's time for sports. Yankees lost in Anaheim last night in extra innings. Mariano Rivera blowing that save in the ninth.
And then Mike Stanton came to the mound, and the Angels' Garrett Anderson hit the game winner down the right field line, scoring Darren Erstad, and Angels won it 7-6. Now, for the rest of sports, here's Gary Apple.
Well, it's been a very rough season for the Mets, but it was a very productive weekend. The Mets made it 3 straight over San Francisco, beating the Giants at Shea last night in the third. The Fonz going deep right here. It barely stays fair. Hits the pole, as a matter of fact. A 3-run shot. It was 3-1 Mets. Then tied it 3-6. The Mets had the bases loaded, 1 out. Piazza on third, trying to score the go-ahead on a sac fly, and he is out at home. Great job by Santiago blocking the plate. But the Mets won it with 3 in the 7th. Matt Lawton breaks the tie, doubles into right. Ordonez waltzes in. The Mets beat the Giants 6-5. Barry Bonds once again goes homerless. He is stuck on 55. What a win for Tiger at the NEC Invitational as Woods and Jim Furyk staged a sudden death playoff for the ages. Furyk appeared to be out of it quickly, left his third shot in the bunker on the first extra hole. But then Furyk, with a flair for the dramatic, he does the improbable. His second bunker shot quite a bit better than his first. And so the playoff continued. He was fired up. In fact, it went 7 holes before Tiger said, you know, enough is enough. Tiger with his shot to the green here on 18, sealing it, a pitching wedge to about 2 feet, and say goodnight. Tiger Woods wins the NEC Invitational for the 3rd consecutive year. He also wins $1 million. WNBA, the Liberty couldn't get it done at the Garden last night, and so the Eastern Conference Finals comes down to 1 game tonight. Charlotte, even the best of 3 series behind Andrea Stinson. She scored 16 of her 18 in the second half. She also had 8 assists. Stinson drawing the defense right here and then dishing to Tammy Sutton-Brown. The Sting beat the Liberty 62-53. And finally, Pete Sampras knocked off in the finals of the Hamlet Cup. Sampras going down to Tommy Haas in 3 sets. And so Pete has gone 16 tournaments without a title. Something I am sure he would like to rectify, and he gets the chance beginning today as the U.S. Open gets underway at Flushing Meadows, of course, for the next 2 weeks, and you can see it all right here on CBS. That's it. I'm Gary Apple. That's Big Apple Sports on this Monday morning.
Getting ready to head out the door on your way to work at this early hour. Let's find out and get the score on traffic and weather, starting with Rachel Lutzker. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Michael. We have a couple little problems this morning. Northbound on the Hutch at the Bruckner Expressway. Do watch for delays. We have an overturned tractor-trailer apparently carrying some garbage. Now, that's off to the shoulder, and all lanes at this point are subject to closure as they tried to remove this tractor trailer and clean up the mess as well. So do watch for certainly some heavy delays and possibly some closures through the area this morning. We'll take you out now to the New Jersey Turnpike out by Newark Airport, where things are running smoothly here. Still a problem in northbound routes 1 at 9 at Grove Street through Elizabeth. The left lane now is open. There's an ongoing accident investigation there from an overnight problem. Left lane getting by, but of course watch for delays. Stick with the New Jersey Turnpike if you can at all. As we head out to the Grand Central Parkway here out by Jewel, you'll again notice the traffic is here running quite smoothly still. No big problems or delays in the BQE picking up heading into the Brooklyn Bridge. Looking at another problem, we'll head over to Jim Smith above the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel.
And Rachel, actually some good news here at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. We have all lanes open in both directions. The overnight road work in the process of being cleared. So that is some good news. We see no delays at all in either direction at the tunnel this morning. And as we bring you over to the left, we can show you what the conditions are on the Gowanus Expressway. We are seeing volume begin to build up and over the Gowanus Canal, but so far no significant delays at this time. Let's go over to Janine now to get a check on the weather. Janine, what do you have for us?
Hey, Jim, got some humidity and some rain coming our way. It looks like that rain mainly for the afternoon commute. Currently, the rain holding back into Pennsylvania and upstate New York, and there's really not a whole lot of it, but the cold front is going to make progress today. It's going to move towards the coast and towards New York City and other cities as well. And so we'll be looking for the daytime heating to bring some showers and thunderstorms to the area. A second front developing out in the lakes, and this is going to bring another chance of rain tomorrow. Today, though, highs about 82 degrees in and around New York City on the island, just under 80. Same coastal Connecticut and coastal New Jersey. Inland, though, in New Jersey, 80 in Hapakong and 82 in Flemington. Here's a 5-day forecast, and it looks a little bit wet today and tomorrow. Not an all-day rain event at all. We've seen those before, but this is not the kind of weather pattern that would bring us heavy, prolonged rain, just these scattered afternoon, mainly and evening thunderstorms. So look for that. But Wednesday, everything is looking good. By Wednesday and Thursday, we'll have lots of sunshine and drier weather. Now, you may have noticed the humidity is a lot higher. You'll notice that the next couple of days, but the weekend weather couldn't complain about it. I got a lot of fan mail about that. No, didn't really. But no, a lot of people just real happy to be outdoors. I spent most of the weekend outside.
We're not sweating bullets as soon as we walk outside. It's great.
Nice last night too. We ate out on the deck. Very nice.
Like the new studio, and I have a green wall so I can wear blue now.
Lots of fan mail you're getting already, huh?
No, no.
Man, she's getting all our stuff.
She is.
Janine, thanks. 5:54 right now. Who can waddle and swim the fastest?
We're about to find out. Don't miss the tradition that actually goes back some 22 years. We're going to be right back.
How can we hold the line on crime?
To keep our families safe, we need more police in our neighborhoods.
Former Police Commissioner Bill Bratton, whose plan helped cut city crime in half, endorsed Mark Green for mayor, saying Mark has the best ideas to reduce crime and misconduct.
I'll target juvenile crime, stop the flood of illegal guns from coming into our city, and do even more to help the victims of crime, especially senior citizens.
Mark Green, educating our kids, protecting our families.
Just trying to help you. Some people are... What you doing?
Just paying some bills on Fleet Home Link.
How do you do that again?
You just click and pay.
What you doing now?
I'm transferring some funds.
Yeah, I got some funds to transfer too. Oh, sorry. Mr. Big Time Shortstop, a little too cool to pay, hanging around. Hey.
Hey.
Paying some bills?
Actually, I'm researching a bond fund.
Oh, yeah, bond funds. Gotta diversify. Yeah, and on Fleet Home Link?
Fleet Home Link with Quick and Riley.
You know, you can invest with Fleet Home Link through Quick and
Riley? You don't say.
Sign up for HomeLink today. You'll get 3 months of online bill payment free. Just log on now at fleet.com/free.
How can we improve New York's public schools?
My mother was a school teacher, so I know what a difference a good education makes. I visited 50 city schools to see for myself what works. My plan would reduce class size, make it easier to fire bad teachers, and pay teachers more, especially for improved performance. And if we don't improve our schools, you can hold me accountable.
Mark Green, educating our kids, protecting our families.
Every place has its summer traditions.
In New York, we've got Shakespeare in the Park, and in Deming, New Mexico, they've got duck races.
Their fine feathered summer festival goes back more than 20 years. The Ducks paddled down a 17-foot track of 12-inch deep water.
The winning waddler, or the owner anyway, takes home $400 and, or should I say ducks? Oh, the title of Duck of the Day.
Duckets, ducks.
Go Ducky.
You got to do something with your summer. Go Ducky. It's your birthday.
Birthday.
5:57.
Got you covered with traffic and weather coming up on the Tube.
Also coming up at 6 o'clock, homecoming for those baby Bombers. They may not have won the championship, but they did win their last game.
And an important warning about food you may have in your refrigerator. Don't miss the details on a ground beef recall. CBS 2 News This Morning is coming right back.
Closed captioning on CBS 2 is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, Toyota.
Monday on Martha Stewart Living, a special visit from Sesame Street's Rosita, who joins Martha to prepare
a very typical Mexican snack.
Empanada. This morning at 9.
When your eyes feel dry, gritty, irritated, protect them with Refresh brand eye drops. First, Refresh relieves dryness. Then Refresh forms a lasting shield of protection that keeps irritation out and moisture in. Refresh. It relieves and protects.
What's one of the reasons a relationship lasts?
Discover a new world of intimacy with KY Liquid Lubricant. Smoother thanks to its Hydro Liquid formula.
He says I have a very agile mind.
KY Liquid, the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
The classified ad said, must be willing to travel. I haven't even interviewed yet. My mom's requesting 6 calls a day confirming I'm alive. My girlfriend's partial to X's and O's. That's text kissing. My dad's like, boy, how you gonna follow the team if you're flying all over the place? I'm like, everybody, chill. AT&T Wireless lets me tailor my wireless plan so that my life can revolve around you. It's wireless that fits, unlike my suit.
AT&T Wireless, your world close at hand.
There are certain events that people are proud to be part of, and Camp Jeep is one of them. But the only way to get there is in a tried-and-true Jeep 4x4. And right now, you can get into one during the Camp Jeep sales event at your Jeep dealer. Get $2,000 in lease cash when you turn in any SUV for a $339 a month lease on a rugged and powerful Grand Cherokee Laredo. But hurry, because when it comes to Camp Jeep, the only way to say I was there is to get here first. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
You got the look, I want to know better. You got the look that's all together. Working, playing, day or night. Jordache has a fit that's right. The Jordache look. And you know you got the Jordache look.
On the next crossing over, they never imagined they would lose their son this way. Now an unbelievable connection will reunite their family one more time on the next crossing over with John Edward. Today at 3 on CBS 2.
Good morning on this Monday, August 27th. I'm Lisa Hill.
I'm Michael Pomeranz. It's 6 o'clock, 71 degrees outside. I'd like to welcome you to our new studio. It's the new home of the Information Network. It's right here at the CBS Broadcast Center in Manhattan.
That's right. But first, here's what's happening today. Baby Bronx Bombers getting ready to head home from the Little League World Series. We're going to tell you about the parade that's planned for them this week, even though they didn't win the championship.
Yeah, and a sad story for R&B fans, the investigation into that plane crash that killed Brooklyn-born singer Aaliyah.
Also another shark attack at a Florida beach.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
Live from the CBS 2 Information Center in New York, this is CBS 2 News This Morning.
Well, even though they fell short of their ultimate goal, the Rolando Paulino All-Stars come home today from a summer vacation they'll never forget.
That's for sure. While they may not have captured that Little League World Championship trophy, the Bronx Baby Bombers return as champions in the hearts and minds of everybody in the 5 boroughs.
Capping a whirlwind weekend, those All-Stars took 3rd place at the Little League World Series with a 9-1 win over Curacao in the consolation game.
Danny Almonte struck out 14 batters, and the All-Stars broke the game open in the 5th inning with home runs off the bats of Carlos Garcia and Santos Sierra. Wasn't exactly the World Series finale they wanted, but the Baby Bombers were still happy, still very proud to have represented their country.
A lot of people dream and wish they could come here, and they didn't, and I came, so now I feel proud of myself.
Que llegamos aquí.
He said he feels great. This is the first time representing the United States, and he feels great.
No, they had a lot of fun. They came here and they enjoyed themselves, and this is something that we'll never forget.
Also yesterday, Japan took home the Little League World Championship for the 5th time with a 2-1 win over Apopka, Florida.
Now, coming up on Wednesday, there's going to be a parade in the Bronx honoring the Baby Bombers. It'll start at 3 o'clock at 165th Street, continues down the Grand Concourse to Yankee Stadium.
And stay with CBS 2 for the latest on the homecoming for the Baby Bombers. Amy Stone with a live report for you at noon, and you can count on complete coverage of their parade on Wednesday.
On our West Nile watch this morning, for the second time in less than a week, New York City planned and then canceled spraying of Central Park to fight the West Nile virus. The spraying originally was scheduled for last Thursday. Now, that was canceled because of all the rain we got. Rescheduled for this morning, but without any warning, that plan was suddenly scrapped. No reasons given, and there's no word of rescheduling.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
Time is 6:02. Time to check our traffic and weather, find out how it's shaping up on this Monday. Rachel Lutzker sitting by with all the details. Hello, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Good morning, Michael and Lisa. So far, so good. We have a pretty nice ride for a Monday morning. Not too much to report, which is nice to hear. Verrazano Bridge here looking pretty good. Do keep in mind, though, inbound Gowanus just after the Verrazano. We do have a disabled vehicle that's taking out the right lane from us there. Going to slow us down just a bit. Heading inbound at the Lincoln Tunnel, things starting to pick up, but still no significant delay. Same goes for the ride approaching the Holland Tunnel and George Washington Bridge, where things still check out in fine shape. Out to the New Jersey Turnpike we go, where things are running very smoothly here out by Newark Airport. Still a problem on northbound routes 1 and 9 at Grove Street through Elizabeth. Only the left lane open there. This due to an accident investigation that continues at this time. So do watch for rubbernecking delays, and of course stick with the New Jersey Turnpike if at all possible. We'll head out to the Grand Central Parkway here out by Jewel. Again here running very smoothly. Alternate side in effect today. And Jim Smith above the Bruckner. We'll head out to him.
And Rachel, a very big problem this morning in the Bronx. Let's go right outside and take a look. This is the ramp from the northbound Hutchinson River Parkway to the westbound Cross Bronx and southbound Bruckner Expressway. This truck carrying garbage overturned a short time ago. Now, this will mostly affect the traffic coming off the Whitestone Bridge, again, trying to get south on the Bruckner or west on the Cross Bronx. For the moment, the ramp is closed. Traffic is being detoured off onto the other roadways in the interchange itself while the cleanup is ongoing. So this will probably cause a mess for a good part of the morning rush. Let's go over to Janine Diadamo now to check on the weather. Good morning, Janine.
Good morning to you, Jim. Temperature, I don't know if you noticed the 1 degree drop there. 71 degrees. You just dropped 1 degree this hour. Skies are mostly clear, fair skies all over the tri-state area, but it's not going to stay that way as the humidity comes up and the winds start to get pretty gusty. Out of the west at 9 miles an hour. Earlier we saw some gusts up to 20, but the humidity is 90%. We're going to notice falling pressure as we get a front coming through here. That front is going to bring us showers and storms. Not before we see lots of humidity and comfortable temperatures early this morning. 71 right now in New York City Central Park. Moving along, let me show you what's going on as far as the rainfall. It's holding back to our west. It'll be a little bit wet in Philly this morning, in Albany, Binghamton, and towards Buffalo, but we'll look for increasing clouds and increasing rain chances later on this afternoon. Highs about 82 in and around the city, a little bit lower, higher than that across the area. Michael?
All right, Janine, thanks. U.S. safety investigators go to the Bahamas today to begin looking into that weekend plane crash that killed R&B songstress Aaliyah and 8 others as well. The twin-engine Cessna was heading to Florida when it crashed on Saturday shortly after takeoff. A Bahamian police official says that one of the small plane's engines apparently failed. However, there are reports this morning that the plane may have been overloaded with video and audio equipment used in a music video that Aaliyah had been shooting on the island. Aaliyah had 2 Grammy nominations, a platinum album, and last year made her acting debut in the film Romeo Must Die. She was born in Brooklyn 22 years ago, raised in Detroit, and said that she was born to be an entertainer.
Aaliyah was the latest of several prominent musicians to die in a plane crash, the most recent back in 1997. John Denver was killed when his experimental plane went off the coast of Florida. In 1990, blues guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughan died when his helicopter crashed into a hill in Wisconsin. In 1985, Rick Nelson was killed when his plane caught fire and crashed in Texas. And in 1977, lead singer Ronnie Van Zant and guitarist Stevie Gaines of Lynyrd Skynyrd were killed in a plane crash in Mississippi. And for many, 1959 was the year the music died. A plane crash took the lives of Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper.
Things are getting back to normal now in Midtown, where a water main break flooded one of the most expensive hotels on Central Park South. The Essex House had water in its basement last night, and so did the New York Athletic Club, flooded by a large break at 58th Street between 5th and 6th Avenues. But crews fixed the broken line overnight, and we are told the basements have been pumped dry.
Well, it was an $80 million to 1 shot, and 4 winners beat those odds to split Saturday's $295 million Powerball jackpot. The first person to come forward, David Edwards of Ashland, Kentucky. He's a divorced father who had just been laid off from his job.
I'm going to get $74,750,000.
That's crazy.
Hello? Say that fast.
Hello. 2 winning tickets were sold in Minnesota and Delaware. The other was sold in New Hampshire.
Well, if you still have visions of lottery millions, you can try your luck again today and tomorrow in another multi-state lottery, but don't go to Connecticut. This one's the big game. The only place selling tickets around here is New Jersey. The jackpot for tomorrow night's drawing expected to be $90 million.
It is 6:07. We're going to check traffic and weather for this Monday morning.
Also in Health Watch, why researchers could be one step closer to an insulin pill for diabetics.
Plus, another shark attack at a Florida beach this weekend. We're going to have late details.
Then at 6:30, we're going to tell you about a recall for some meat that you may have in your freezer. You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
There is a rhythm to life. We sleep at night and wake in the morning. It's this sleep cycle that helps keep us in a healthy balance. But for millions of Americans, sleep doesn't always come easy. Fortunately, there's Ambien. Ambien is a prescription sleep aid that can help you get a full night's sleep. With Ambien, you fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and generally wake without feeling groggy the next morning. No wonder Ambien is the #1 prescribed sleep aid in America. Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. Patients who abuse prescription sleep aids may become dependent. Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed. Your doctor will advise you about taking them longer. Take Ambien only when you can devote a full night to sleep and wake up rested and ready to start your day. Talk to your doctor about Ambien. Ambien works like a dream.
Ah, the hassles and details to remember in opening a business. Construction, painters, wallpaper hangers, decorators. The office furniture is usually left for the last minute, and it may not get there on time. But never fear. Call FRA, Furniture Rental Associates, 212-868-0300. Rent temporary affordable office furnishings from high-tech to traditional until that other furniture arrives. FRA, they'll make furnishing your office child's play.
Hey, New York, it's another beautiful day. Officials warn today that if New Yorkers aren't careful with their energy consumption, there could be serious consequences. Experts are advising local residents to use their power sensibly.
Run dishwashers and washing machines in the morning or evening. Use a timer or programmable thermostat on your air conditioner. Shop for appliances with the Energy Star label. And wait until December to celebrate the holidays. Use your power sensibly.
From the CBS 2 Information Network, this morning's headlines straight from the Daily News.
It is 6:10, and in this morning's paper, Princess Diana's life and death, believe it or not, are being turned into a musical. The show's going to make its debut in November in Germany. The musical covers the milestones in Diana's life. It ends with her relationship with Dodi Fayed. Poor parents of students hoping to attend a new Lower East Side school claim they are being shut out in favor of wealthy children from out of the district. Parents from Community School District 1 are calling for a fresh admissions lottery at the new Explorations into Science, Technology, and Math school. And the U.S. Open gets underway today. You can check out a special tennis section in the paper highlighting today's matches. You can read all about it in this morning's Daily News. Michael, back to you.
Lise, thanks.
Okay.
This next story might remind you of the original Jaws movie. Remember the debate about closing the beach when the sharks started attacking? Well, in this case, the attacks are real. And the decision today is whether it's safe to reopen that Florida beach. At least 9 people were bitten by sharks off New Smyrna Beach in the last week. The latest victim, an 18-year-old boogie boarder, nipped by a shark on Saturday, and it happened about a mile south of that beach. He was not seriously hurt, and reporter Mark Potter has more.
The 1-mile stretch of beach where most of the bites occurred remained closed to swimmers and surfers over the weekend, although only a few sharks were spotted from the air. Susan Sharp and her sister hoped to videotape some sharks, but didn't see a thing.
No, I saw more at SeaWorld than we did here.
The local beach patrol says it's hard to find a shark now, although they're certainly out there all year long.
I mean, you can go down to a specific area if the water's right, and sure, you could probably spot one, but you're going to be there for a couple hours looking for one. Just like these people that are attempting to catch a shark, nobody's caught one all week.
The rest of the shore at New Smyrna Beach was crowded with bathers, even though a stiff wind kicked up the waves. Many people went in the water, although some said they were more cautious now.
No, and I wouldn't let my children go out there, all my grandchildren. Not at all.
I don't know if I would dangle my feet over a surfboard.
But surfers didn't seem to mind and continued to ride the waves. Sharks are just part of the environment, they say.
We see the sharks. We run into the sharks. We land on them. We hit them. We don't jump over them, but sometimes they'll be in the water and we move out of their way.
Local residents complain about what they see as a media feeding frenzy that briefly hurt local businesses.
At first it slowed our business down, but now it brings out the curious. More people are coming out to see what's happening.
Local surfers and beach patrol officials argue that what occurred here were not shark attacks in the intentional sense, but instead were shark bites, which were accidental.
The shark comes in, they bite somebody, and then they swim off. It causes enough damage to do stitches. No one's ever lost their life out here.
Well, there have been at least 19 shark attacks off New Smyrna Beach this year. That's almost half of the number of shark attacks reported in the world so far this year. None of the wounds, though, off New Smyrna have been life-threatening.
Let's go ahead and find out about traffic. Jim Smith in Chopper 2 overhead of a, dump truck accident there, Jim?
Yeah, Lisa, a tractor trailer carrying garbage overturned. This is on the ramp when you come off the Whitestone Bridge, trying to get westbound on the Cross Bronx or southbound on the Bruckner Expressway. Now, we can see the cleanup still here ongoing at the scene. The good news is one lane has been reopened. The delays have begun to ease, and we believe the Whitestone Bridge should be relatively unaffected this morning by this. Let's go over to Rachel Lutzker now to get a check on the rest of the traffic story. Rachel?
Thank you very much, Jim, and good morning. Another problem involving some tractor trailers this morning. Southbound on the Garden State Parkway at 91, 2 tractor trailers involved in an accident on the exit ramp there, so do watch for that this morning. And also, northbound routes 1 and 9 at Grove Street through Elizabeth. Only the left lane remains open there due to an overnight problem with an accident investigation right now. As we head out to the New Jersey Turnpike, things here running very smoothly. Stick with the Turnpike if you can this morning as an alternate. Now by Newark Airport here, you'll notice that things are running quite smoothly at this point. Over to the Verrazano Bridge, also running very smoothly at this point. Just after the Verrazano Bridge, inbound though on the Gowanus, look for a disabled vehicle. That's taking out a lane from us at this point. And as we head over to the BQE, you'll notice a line of traffic picking up already into the Brooklyn Bridge. Northbound though, as we travel on the Cross Island at the LIE, watch for an accident that takes out the right lane. Alternate side in effect, and we'll check the forecast now with Janine Diadamo.
Rachel, thanks. It is 6:14 and 73 at New York's LaGuardia Airport. All of our observation areas for over the weekend reporting warm temperatures but low humidity. So Saturday and Sunday, gorgeous days. Now we're going to make up for it with a little bit of rainfall today and also tomorrow. You can see up and down the East Coast, comfortable weather, 73 in Washington, same New York. Boston a little bit cooler at 68. But behind the front, some cooler air is pressing in, 64 in Buffalo and Albany, 71. Let me show you where that front is. It's easy to pick out here on the satellite radar. You'll notice the storms from southern Ohio through upstate New York into the Green and White Mountains of New Hampshire and Vermont. But what we're going to notice is some of this rain breaking up. So if you forgot your umbrella for the early morning hours, you're going to be okay. It looks like the showers and storms will redevelop this afternoon once we get the daytime heating in effect. And we'll look for rain, especially in the tri-state area in the afternoon. By time that you head home, dinner time afterwards, looks like rain developing. 82 for the high in New York. That'll happen at about 4 this afternoon. 79 in Seaford along the Texas coast, no, the Connecticut coast. 79 in Stamford, 79 Asbury Park. And the 5-day forecast, take a look at this. We've got showers and storms with the second front, 84 degrees for the high on Tuesday. And by Wednesday, things clear out. We get another bonus couple of days with nice weather. And then as we head on into Friday, showers and storms. So we're enjoying the new studio. You see, everything looks different around here. And I hear there's going to be some neat effects with the Weather Center as well. We're going to have like a crane. I'm going to be lifted in on cables. And they've got all kinds of great ideas.
Is that right?
Floating in the clouds. Right?
Not at all.
No.
Hazardous things.
Totally fabricated.
Yeah. Right.
I knew she was lying. I just
You knew it.
Nice,
You
Janine.
sensed it.
6:16 right now. It's time for your wake-up sports report. Yankees lost in Anaheim last night in extra innings. Mariano Rivera blowing the save in the ninth.
Yeah, then Mike Stanton came to the mound, and the Angels' Garrett Anderson hit the game winner down the right field line, scoring Darren Erstad. Angels won it 7-6. Now for the rest of sports, here's Gary Apple.
Well, it's been a very rough season for the Mets, but it was a very productive weekend. The Mets made it 3 straight over San Francisco, beating the Giants at Shea last night in the third. The Fonz going deep right here. It barely stays fair. Hits the pole, as a matter of fact. A 3-run shot. It was 3-1 Mets. Then tied it 3-6. The Mets had the bases loaded, 1 out. Piazza on third, trying to score the go-ahead on a sac fly, and he is out at home. Great job by Santiago blocking the plate. But the Mets won it with 3 in the 7th. Matt Lawton breaks the tie, doubles into right. Ordonez waltzes in. The Mets beat the Giants 6-5. Barry Bonds once again goes homerless. He is stuck on 55. What a win for Tiger at the NEC Invitational as Woods and Jim Furyk staged a sudden death playoff for the ages. Furyk appeared to be out of it quickly, left his 3rd shot in the bunker on the first extra hole. But then Furyk, with a flair for the dramatic, he does the improbable. His 2nd bunker shot, quite a bit better than his 1st. And so the playoff continued. He was fired up. In fact, it went 7 holes before Tiger said, you know, enough is enough. Tiger with his shot to the green here on 18, sealing it, a pitching wedge to about 2 feet, and say goodnight. Tiger Woods wins the NEC Invitational for the 3rd consecutive year. He also wins $1 million. WNBA, the Liberty couldn't get it done at the Garden last night, and so the Eastern Conference Finals comes down to 1 game tonight. Charlotte, even the best of 3 series behind Andrea Stinson. She scored 16 of her 18 in the second half. She also had 8 assists. Stinson drawing the defense right here and then dishing to Tammy Sutton-Brown. The Sting beat the Liberty 62-53. And finally, Pete Sampras knocked off in the finals of the Hamlet Cup. Sampras going down to Tommy Haas in 3 sets. And so Pete has gone 16 tournaments without a title. Something I am sure he would like to rectify, and he gets the chance beginning today as the U.S. Open gets underway at Flushing Meadows, of course, for the next 2 weeks, and you can see it all right here on CBS. That's it. I'm Gary Apple. That's Big Apple Sports on this Monday morning.
It is 6:18 on your Monday. Coming up at 6:30, a live report on the winners of Saturday's huge Powerball drawing.
Plus, we'll take another look at traffic and weather for you on this Monday. We're back in a moment.
Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Smart designs that maximize room, comfort, and ride. Now with low 0.9 financing on Dodge Stratus, Intrepid, and Neon. Or up to $2,500 cash allowance. See, compare, drive, Dodge during the Team Dodge sales event.
You've seen Metropolitan Lumber and Hardware trucks everywhere. The reason is because of great deals like this one. Cut at least 50% off factory service tools with new tool warranties, like the Remington 27 caliber powder actuated tool. Originally $299, only $129, only at the Met. Let us deliver quality products at low prices and expert service to you as well. With 5 locations serving the tri-state area, drop by any Metropolitan Lumber and Hardware and find out why you see our trucks everywhere.
Every time I tried to sleep at night, I would wake up coughing and basically gasping for air. I finally went to the doctor. He just said, look, you have a very big problem. You've been diagnosed with what is called congestive heart failure. Then my doctor put me on this medicine, and right away I started to feel a lot better. The drug has affected my life immensely in a great way. If I met a researcher today, I would probably give him or her a great big hug and a kiss.
Big kiss. Big kiss.
Not too big. And I think that you're doing great work, and please continue.
A single phone call, then thousands of emails, now millions of viewers. When CBS 2 began investigating the food industry, we knew it was a big story, but we had no idea it would have such a big impact.
We wanted to hear what you think. And did we hear it? With your help, CBS 2 exposed some of the worst violators.
And we promise to keep at it until your food is safer.
Log on to CBSNewYork.com and stay with CBS 2 News as we continue our investigation. Weeknights at 11 on Nightcast.
Here's proof positive that I don't raise my prices to make up for my low 9.99% interest rate. The whole kit and caboodle, the extra big and super comfortable sofa and love seat, these 3 tables and 2 lamps, ridiculously low at only $888. There's no substitute for the lowest price. How sweet it is to get the lowest price plus a 9.99% interest rate. Thank you, Mr. Greenspan.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
A developing story we are following here at CBS 2. Iraq claims it shot down a U.S. reconnaissance plane today over southern Iraq. Reports out of Iraq do not specify what type of plane or give any information about any pilots on board. So far, no response from the Americas to the claim.
In this morning's Health Watch, researchers at Purdue University believe that they have found a way to make insulin for diabetics available in pills instead of daily shots. They've come up with a new acrylic-based coating. That coating would allow the pills to survive the harsh acids in the stomach, let insulin seep into the bloodstream through the small intestine. Coating could also potentially be used with some injectable drugs used to treat cancer and osteoporosis.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
6:22 on your Monday. Let's find out about traffic. Here's Rachel Lutzker. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Michael. We still have some trouble spots this morning, unfortunately. We'll take you out to the Grand Central Parkway up by Jewel here. You'll notice traffic here is running smoothly. The westbound LIE, though, at Woodhaven Boulevard, an accident there. That's on the outer roadway. And another problem northbound on the Cross Island at the LIE. An accident there takes out the right lane, so watch for some slowdowns getting through these areas. Staten Island Expressway here heading towards the Verrazano Bridge. Still not too much of a problem. Traffic starting to pick up, a brake check here and there. Inbound Gowanus Expressway, though, just after the Verrazano Bridge. Looks like a disabled vehicle. That takes out the right lane from us at this point. Over now to the inbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel. Traffic beginning to pick up just a bit here. Just a minor slowdown, not too much. Holland Tunnel and George Washington Bridge also traveling in decent shape so far. And we'll head out to the New Jersey Turnpike by Newark Airport. Again, traffic here running smoothly, though. Northbound on routes 1 and 9 at Grove Street continuing to have an accident investigation going on there. That has the left lane open through this area. Watch for some heavy rubbernecking. And stick with the New Jersey Turnpike if you can this morning. And still a problem southbound on the Garden State Parkway. 2 tractor trailers involved in an accident at exit 91. That's on the exit ramp there. Another problem involving a tractor trailer. We'll head over to Jim Smith for that.
And Rachel, this stinks, literally. We are over the Bruckner interchange. This is on the ramp coming off the Whitestone Bridge to the westbound Cross Bronx or the southbound Bruckner Expressway. This tractor trailer carrying garbage overturned earlier this morning. We do have one lane open on the ramp. However, while the garbage is being offloaded, at some point they will have to shut down the ramp once again. These tow trucks over on the right-hand side of the screen, they will be brought in to try to upright the tractor trailer. However, since there is one lane open on this ramp, delays are not that bad getting off the Whitestone Bridge. Let's go over to Janine now to get a check on the weather. Janine, what do you have for us?
Well, Jim, foolish question, but can you smell it from where you are at your altitude?
Thankfully, we cannot. We are about 700 feet above the Bruckner interchange, and while I wish I can go down there and investigate for myself how bad it is, we cannot smell what it is.
Well, you know, it's probably the question everybody's asking. I thought I'd throw it out there. Thanks so much. What we have right now are pretty mild temperatures early on this Monday. 71 in New York City, Madison 73, Bridgeport 73. But here's what's going to happen. A cold front is going to be working its way into the area. That front will come east with time, so look for showers and thunderstorms to develop. Not so much this morning, but later on this afternoon and this evening, possibly for afternoon and evening rush hour. Grab the umbrellas and keep them with you. We've got a forecast high today of about 82 degrees and some rain. Again, not just today, but also tomorrow. And along with the rain, you guys, humidity. You're going to notice it today where you didn't notice it much over the weekend.
The weekend was lovely.
Oh, it was a great weekend.
Nice and dry.
Now paybacks with the rain.
True.
Thanks, Janine. 6:25 right now. Rollerbladers soon have a new place to kick up their heels on Long Island.
Plus, a live report on the 4 winning tickets from Saturday's Powerball jackpot. You are watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
Looking for low-rate financing or big cash back on a new car? Then get to the 2001 Pontiac Summer Clearance, where you can get $2,000 cash back on your choice of any new 2001 Grand Am or Grand Prix. Or choose low 0% APR financing on any new 2001 Grand Am or Grand Prix. With deals this good, you may not believe your eyes. The 2001 Pontiac Summer Clearance, now at your local Pontiac dealer.
My family's always been there for me. Dad worked hard so we could have the good things in life. Then he was diagnosed with mesothelioma. I was sure we'd beat the odds. But then I learned that the odds are against us.
Levy Phillips in Königsberg, winning some of the largest verdicts in the country. A leader in asbestos litigation. If you or a loved one suffers from mesothelioma, lung cancer, or asbestosis, call 1-800-MESOLAW. Fight back. Win.
What's one of the reasons our relationship lasts? Discover a new world of intimacy with KY Liquid Lubricant. Smoother thanks to its Hydro Liquid formula.
He says I have a very agile
mind. KY Liquid, the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
There have been a lot of headaches in this house, but only one headache medicine, Tylenol, for fast relief of even tough headaches.
They've been called the greatest generation. On the beaches of Normandy, across the Pacific, and in America's factories. They protected freedom and saved the world. Now they need us. Scientific advances mean new drugs can enhance the quality of life and even save lives for thousands of seniors. Yet many seniors go without it. I'm Peter Vallone. As mayor, I'll create a prescription drug benefit for New York City's senior citizens. It's time to fight for the people who fought so hard for all of us.
CBS Wednesday, September 5th. The next great adventure is set to begin. 11 teams of 2.
Are you ready?
Will race once around the planet. They'll face challenges.
Those guys are fighting it out for second place.
That could knock them out of the game.
Hurry up!
The Amazing Race premieres CBS Wednesday, September 5th.
If you skateboard, rollerblade, or ride BMX bikes, there's going to be a new place for you to practice your skills on Long Island. Groundbreaking for a new skate park is in Riverhead. It is scheduled for this morning. It's a 20,000 square foot park. It's going to be in Slotsky Park. It's going to have jumps, ramps, skate bars, and an inline roller rink.
Time right now, 6:28. In our next half hour, a consumer alert. You may have some tainted meat in your freezer. We're going to have all the information you need to know.
Also a live report as the winners start to come forward after that big Powerball drawing.
And the plans to welcome home the baby Bronx Bombers after they tried to win the Little League World Series. We're back in just a moment.
I'm one of millions of Americans with periodontitis. You know, gum disease with tooth pockets, 4 millimeters deep or more. But guess what? I'm encouraged. I just started deep cleaning treatments with my dentist, scaling and root planing. And my dentist prescribed Periostat. Periostat is an FDA-approved prescription pill to help keep my gum disease from getting worse.
Periostat is proven to help shrink tooth pockets and improve tooth attachment.
My dentist tells me that Periostat, along with professional treatments and regular brushing and flossing, can help me keep my teeth. Hey, that works for me.
Don't take Periostat if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, as it may cause harm to your unborn child or infant. Don't take Periostat if you're allergic to tetracycline antibiotics.
Don't just take my word for it. Ask your dentist about Periostat.
Periostat, the first prescription pill that can help you keep your teeth.
I give out more of these than my autographs. Take your car to Mako. Our economical ambassador paint service is only $189. Mako is good, fast, and a great value. It's Mako for makeovers. Call 1-888-MAKO-USA.
You profit when New York's money is well managed. As finance chairman of the City Council, Herb Berman manages the city's $40 billion budget. Berman stood up to Rudy Giuliani's budget cuts and added $3 billion for schools and seniors. Berman's making housing more affordable, exposing wasteful spending, and managing the city's money wisely. Herb Berman for controller. Let's profit from his experience.
How can we hold the line on crime?
To keep our families safe, we need more police in our neighborhoods.
Former Police Commissioner Bill Bratton, whose plan helped cut city crime in half, endorsed Mark Green for mayor, saying Mark has the best ideas to reduce crime and misconduct.
I'll target juvenile crime, stop the flood of illegal guns from coming into our city, and do even more to help the victims of crime, especially senior citizens.
Mark Green, educating our kids, protecting our families.
I just got a prescription for Periostat. I was told Periostat was right for me.
If you would like to learn more about Periostat, call the number on your screen or visit us at periostat.com.
Good morning on this Monday. It is 6:31, 71 degrees outside. We're obviously here in our new studio. It's the new home of the CBS 2 Information Network right here in Midtown Manhattan.
Here's what's happening this morning. There's been a recall for some meat that may contain some deadly bacteria.
Also, who are the lucky winners of that Powerball drawing? We're going to have a live report for you.
Meteorologist Janine Diadamo has the weather you're waking up to.
And Rachel Lutzker will take a look at your commute.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
Live from the CBS 2 Information Center in New York, this is CBS 2 News This Morning.
We begin with a health alert about some ground beef that may be contaminated with a deadly strain of bacteria.
American Foods Group is recalling more than 530,000 pounds of ground beef that may be tainted with E. coli bacteria.
The beef was sold in New York and New Jersey. It has a sell-by date of August 19th, 2001, with the USDA establishment number 410.
If you have the recalled meat in your fridge, you can return it to the store where you bought it for a full refund. And one interesting note, with the thousands of recalls issued every year, the Consumer Product Safety Commission says that less than half of consumers actually take any action. The problem, most consumers are so inundated by manufacturers' offers to repair or replace items, they don't stay on top of the new announcements. Another note, half of the recalls involve toys.
It is 6:32. Let's find out about traffic and weather. Jim Smith's up in Chopper 2 overhead of a problem. Hello, Jim.
Hey, good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, everybody. We have a major problem this morning in the Bronx. Potentially could cause delays coming off the Whitestone Bridge. Let's go outside and take a look. This is on the ramp. Once you get off the Whitestone Bridge in the Bronx to the westbound Cross Bronx and the southbound Bruckner Expressway, earlier this morning, this tractor-trailer carrying garbage overturned. Now, all of the garbage that it was carrying needs to be offloaded. That's what those extra dump trucks have been brought in for. At some point during the morning, the ramp will need to be shut down. Tow trucks will be brought in once again to try to upright the tractor-trailer. We have only one lane open on the ramp. Now, we can bring you back and show you the delays. They are not that bad. It is only a ramp delay at this point. Traffic coming off the Whitestone Bridge not being affected. Let's go over to Rachel Lutzker now to get a check on the rest of the traffic story. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Jim. Well, the good news is that the rest of the commute is overall not too bad at all. We'll take you out and show you things right now on the BQE. Heading into the Brooklyn Bridge, we have a line of traffic. Pretty typical, though, for this time of the morning as things start to pick up, so no big problem there. We'll check out things along the Staten Island Expressway. You notice they're slowing down just a bit, heading towards the Verrazano Bridge, but again, not too much of a delay at this point. Again, just beginning to build. Over at the Lincoln Tunnel, things picking up just a bit as well. Same goes for the ride to the approaches of the Holland Tunnel and George Washington Bridge. But as we flip things over and take a look at the Grand Central Parkway here out by Jewel, traffic here running smoothly, picking up, but still in fairly decent shape. Alternate side in effect, and we'll check the forecast now with Janine Diadamo.
Well, Rachel, I wish I can say we're going to have another day just like Saturday and Sunday, another repeat of gorgeous, sunny, low humidity kind of weather. But today the humidity is going to be increasing. Skies are clear for now, but later this afternoon, clouds are coming in, rain is coming in, so get ready for it. The humidity, 90%. So pretty close to near saturated at 100% with west winds at 9 miles per hour and a steady barometer. Now, the barometer will start dropping later today. If you have a home barometer, maybe, you know that lower pressure usually means bad weather's moving in. And in this case, as the pressures drop this afternoon, a cold front comes in and temperatures start climbing. But what we start to see is this front coming on in. Right now, it's anywhere from Maine all the way back down into Texas, actually. My old stopping grounds there in Dallas and north central Texas. There's a second front, too, in the Great Lakes that you can see. They're going to come in first today, second one tomorrow. So both days we're going to have a chance of rain. Today's highs in the low 80s and upper 70s. But, Lisa, remember, umbrellas today and also tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Janine. American investigators will be in the Bahamas today to help in the search for answers in the plane crash that killed R&B singer Aaliyah and 8 others. The twin-engine Cessna was heading to Miami when it crashed shortly after takeoff on Saturday. Bahamian investigators say one of the small plane's engines apparently failed, but there were reports this morning that the plane may have been overloaded with equipment that was used for a music video Aaliyah had been shooting on the island. Aaliyah was born in Brooklyn 22 years ago. She was raised in Detroit. She had 2 Grammy nominations, a platinum album, and last year made her acting debut in the film Romeo Must Die.
Time right now, 6:36. When we come back, we're going to tell you about the plan to prosecute the mayor of Waterbury, Connecticut.
Plus the plan to make your mail reach its destination sooner.
News on CBS 2 is brought to you by the UAW Ford Partnership.
You're on your way to help protect people. You're on your way to break down barriers. You're on your way to make people happy. You're on your way to work. The UAW Ford Partnership, working to build a better life.
The following U.S. Open moment is brought to you by your Tri-State Lincoln dealer. Lincoln, enthusiastic and official sponsor of the 2001 U.S. Open.
A new generation dawns at the 1991 U.S. Open as 17-year-old Monica Seles defeats Martina Navratilova, age 34, to win the women's singles title. Seles would go on to capture the 92 title as well, highlighting her 2-year stretch as the world's #1 ranked player.
It's the kind of thing we can only keep quiet about for so long. It's the best time of the year to lease the Lincoln Navigator during the Lincoln Sign and Drive sales event. Now, drive Navigator, the full-size luxury SUV that created the category, with 0 first month's payment and 0 cash due at signing for only $635 a month for 36 months. Lincoln, enthusiastic and official sponsor of the 2001 U.S. Open Tennis Championships.
Most mechanics can fix just about anything on your car. But throw something really complex at them, like a modern transmission, then all bets are off. For a job done right, guaranteed, at a price that's right, bring it to the experts. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO.
There has still been no official U.S. confirmation to a claim by the Iraqi government that they shot down a U.S. reconnaissance plane. The official Iraqi news agency claims the plane was carrying high-tech equipment. It was shot down today near the southern city of Basra. Iraq's desire to shoot down a U.S. plane is well known, but U.S. military officials have always denied any of its planes have been hit. The U.S. and Britain set up the no-fly zones about 10 years ago. They're designed to prevent Iraqi warplanes from attacking Muslim rebels in the south and Kurdish insurgents in the north. Mike?
All right, Lisa, thanks. We're expecting a few new developments today in the case of Waterbury Mayor Philip Giordano, who's facing child sex abuse charges. Today, a Connecticut grand jury is expected to either indict Giordano or dismiss the charges against him. And tonight, the Waterbury Board of Aldermen is expected to discuss whether to remove Giordano from office.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
Live from the CBS 2 Information Center in New York, this is CBS 2 First News at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Dana Tyler.
And I'm Ernie Anastas. This is First News at 4.
Straight ahead in the next hour, a tragic ending for a young woman destined for greatness. We will have the latest on the plane crash that killed R&B star Aaliyah. And we'll also take a look at her successes.
And then the situation in Iraq gets serious once again. We'll tell you about the U.S. plane that Iraq may have shot down.
Plus, Al Sharpton makes it official, endorsing New York City mayoral candidate Fernando Ferrer. We'll talk live with Ferrer on the campaign trail.
And Crossing Over host John Edward crosses over to First News at 4. We'll be talking live to him about a lot of questions I'm sure you'd like to know about.
Okay, Ira Joe here. Some serious weather this Monday to start the week.
It was anticipated. We have a system grumbling through and another one due tomorrow, a cold front. And today it has stirred up some thunderstorms to the north of New York City until 4:30 for another half an hour. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect in Westchester County, and it extends on into Connecticut, into Fairfield County, the northern reaches of both counties. In Fairfield County, these are the cities in the path of this particular series of thunderstorms: Ridgefield, and then on to the east into Georgetown, Newtown, and ultimately Trumbull. Now, severe thunderstorms have happened in the area as a part of this system, and you see how widespread the cloud cover is, and then in the center of the cloud cover is that line of thunderstorms. Regular rain in places, heavier thunderstorms a part of it as well, and you see it making its way there across Pennsylvania on into New Jersey and ultimately through Westchester counties and on into Fairfield County in Connecticut. A severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:30, and that's how the evening is going to stay. Cloudy at the start with a chance chance of the scattered showers and thunderstorms. The line of storms is narrow, but it could pass through your neighborhood, so be aware of that and seek shelter if necessary. Ultimately, lows in the 60s tonight, and then tomorrow we will see early showers and then some sunshine. That's your forecast, Dana.
Ira, thank you. As many of you have heard, family, friends, and fans of rising star Aaliyah are mourning her tragic death in a plane crash over the weekend. CBS 2 reporter Michael Aaliyah is live on the Upper West Side with the very latest. Robin Carter is here more on the short life of Aaliyah. Robin?
Dana, thank you. She said she was ready to do it all, and she was about to have it all. Not only a red-hot recording career, but possible movie stardom as well. Aaliyah had nabbed a plum part in the upcoming Matrix sequels, but her next immediate project was to appear as a presenter at the MTV Video Music Awards at Lincoln Center next Thursday night. Instead, the music industry and fans are mourning what could have been.
Everything that I've always wanted is happening to me.
And tragically, it was. Aaliyah may not have been a household name yet, but she was on her way to becoming one. Who should be heard? Who should be shared? At only 22 years old, Aaliyah was already a Grammy-nominated star on the rise. She had performed at the Oscars, and after her motion picture debut last year in Romeo Must Die, Hollywood was looking at her as a comer.
Since I was little, I started in singing. I did acting, I danced, I did play.
Born in Bed-Stuy and raised in Detroit, Aaliyah was a straight-A student at Performing Arts School. By age 11, she was performing on Star Search, and she released her first album at age 15.
Even at the age of 15, she could create work that was sophisticated and smart and subtle, and that adults and young listeners could enjoy.
Just 5 weeks ago, Aaliyah released her third CD, which debuted in the top 5 of Billboard's album charts. And she proved her soon-to-be superstar potential when fans at a record signing in Manhattan went into a frenzy. And some fans reduced to tears.
I have to say, those are the best moments, you know what I mean? Because then, you know, you really touch those people.
And touch people she did, not only with her grace at handling fame at such a young age, but as a role model.
I liked her. I liked her music. It's just a shame, you know. She was a great role model, probably a great influence for a lot of young people.
Music giant and family friend Quincy Jones issued this statement, quote, "She was like one of my daughters. I loved her and respected her, and I am absolutely devastated." And one of Madonna's backup singers remembers Aaliyah this way.
I know she was beautiful. I know she was a beautiful person, and I know that she had a lot of people around her who loved her.
Virgin Records, the distributor of her last CD, says Aaliyah's talent was matched only by her passion for the craft.
Okay, let's go.
And it was passion to be the best she could be that Aaliyah spoke about last month to MTV as she was promoting her latest CD overseas.
I want to make good music. I want to make music that represents me in totality and that I'm happy with first. And then I want to please my fans because it's all about them.
Now, just before she died, Aaliyah was in the middle of making The Matrix 2, but she had already wrapped a film in the title role of Queen of the Damned. That's one of Anne Rice's novels that's coming to the big screen in February. And now, tragically, Aaliyah joins the pantheon of other musical stars who have died young or not so young in plane crashes, from John Denver to Jim Croce, Patsy Cline, and of course, Buddy Holly and Ritchie Valens. Dana, Ernie.
Such a promising talent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robin.
A serious situation in Iraq. Tensions are building.
88.
The big story on CBS 2, the investigation of the plane crash that caused the untimely death of a rising star.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
Live from the CBS 2 Information Center in New York, this is CBS 2 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Angela Ray.
I'm Todd McDermott. U.S. aviation officials are now in the Bahamas trying to piece together the events leading up to the plane crash that killed R&B singer Aaliyah.
The New York native was among the 9 people on board when the plane went down, killing everyone.
Michael O'Looney has details from the Upper West Side.
May save you money. Whether it's parents buying for children or vice versa, it's a strategy that works.
Many people have aging parents, and many of those parents want to stay in their homes. It turns out there may be a way to do just that that makes good financial sense for parents and children. Financial expert Marshall Loeb, author of 52 Weeks to Financial Fitness, recommends that adult children buy their parents' homes and then lease the houses back to them.
That guarantees them staying in the house for the rest of their lives. And meanwhile, you, as the person who owns the house, can take all these marvelous deductions. So it's a win-win situation.
As landlords, children will get a lot of deductions, including mortgage interest, maintenance, and property taxes. And there's an added bonus for parents.
When they sell the home, and they could be selling it to you, they get to exclude up to $500,000 of the gain from their taxable income.
That dollar figure drops to $250,000 if only one parent is living. But there is a condition. The rent has to be reasonable.
Much as you would like to be generous to your parents for renting out the house, the IRS insists that you charge your kin a reasonable fair market rate of rental.
And Loeb says the selling price has to be reasonable as well. Finally, Loeb says the family rental arrangement can work both ways. Some parents may want to become their children's landlords. For example, if they have children going off to college, it may save a lot of money.
Sometimes people find that it's more reasonable to buy a house or a condo for a college student who's going to be at some institution for oftentimes 4 years, sometimes more.
Loeb says if you do buy a home for your college student and it's large enough, consider making them the property manager. That way they can make some extra money and learn a whole lot in the process. Angela, back to you.
Good advice. Thank you, Amanda. Well, before you take...
This is only $19.99. It just can't be, but it is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everybody.
Up for damages they caused.
We'll show you how to fight back and win.
CBS 2 report, Park at Your Own Risk.
Tuesday at 11 on Nightcast.
Part of the CBS 2 Information Network.
The big story on CBS 2, one of the big Powerball jackpot winners has stepped forward to claim his prize. Who is he? And what does he plan to do with that newfound fortune?
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
Live from the CBS 2 Information Center in New York, this is CBS 2 News at 5:30.
Good evening. I'm Todd McDermott.
I'm Angela Ray. For the past few weeks, a multi-million-dollar jackpot had New Yorkers